Hi everybody, it's Lauren Brown, also known as Raggedy Royal on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and now YouTube. And today we're going to be doing this rainbow cut crease. I'm so excited. My first rainbow look on YouTube. I'm going to tell you this now. Make sure you do your eyes before your face because there will be fallout and a lot of things. It's easier to just do your face after you wipe off the fallout, then wipe off your face, then redo. So just do your eyes before your face. Thank you so much for all of the love and support recently on just everything. I'm just very, very grateful. And I can't wait to get into this tutorial. If you learn anything along the way, please give it a like and subscribe down below. Let's go into it. Okay, so my eyes are already primed. You may see that I already have mascara on. That's because I'm filming back-to-back videos, okay? So all I did was just wipe off my last eyes and I'm gonna put eyes on top. I told you on my Q&A that I do a lot of looks in the same day. Maybe I need to do a video on like how exactly I do that, but that's what we did. That's why my eyes look the way they do. I primed with the ABH eyeshadow primer. We're going to need a really white base here. The reason why I use a light base when I do colorful looks is so that the colors can come up more true to pan. True to pan just means they look exactly how they look in the palette. They look bright. It's kind of like coloring on a white piece of paper versus a brown piece of paper. The color is going to look more true to crayon on the white piece of paper. So that's why I like using a white eyeshadow base compared to something that's like the same color as my skin tone, just so that the eye can be more vibrant. All right, got my reference picture up because I did this look the other day and I want to do it the way I did it the other day. Let's get this party started. I'm going to start with the Morphe M456 brush and we're going to go across the lid in different colors. Just walk with me. There'll be a lot of brush switching, but you are more than capable of doing this. You got this. Let's go. So I'm going to be going into the Beauty Bay Bright Matte. What is this? Beauty Bay Bright 2.0 palette. I've been calling this the Bright Matte for months. It's just Bright 2.0 palette. And I'm going to be going into shade Throne and a little bit of shade Mulberry. I like the undertone of shade Mulberry. It's like a little, like, gives me like a disco pop type of purple. But I want the depth of Throne. You're gonna go into your purple shade. Now you may not have the exact same palette as me, and that's cool. Just use the same colors as I'm using. So we're gonna first go into purple. I'm gonna start in the inner corner. Where's your inner corner? That's where your tear duct is, right? And I'm going to blend maybe about 1/6 of the eye, which I know, math, I know, but you can see I'm not going super far out because one of the most important things with working with a lot of color is budgeting and having the space for all of the colors. If I go halfway down the eye, then I'm not going to be able to equally put the other colors on there. And that may be what you're going for, but that's not what we're going for today. So I'm just going to get that nice and define here. Now, you know we never blend an eyeshadow once, so we definitely will come back. So don't worry about it being like, oh, I need to add more. We're going to come back and blend it. But right now, we are just placing the eyeshadow so we know where everything goes. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the Colourpop E16 brush. I'm using bristles that are close together. As we go up the eye, I'm going to use fluffier brushes or wider brushes, such as this brush here. See, it's wider than this one. But in the crease, and that's where we're going right now, lower on the eye, I'm going to be using these narrower brushes. I'm going to go into shade Infinity and a little bit of Swim. So we're going into the dark blues. I'm going to put that right next to the purple. I'm blending a little bit, so I'm not just like placing it and moving. I'm doing a small tiny circle in the crease. Where is your crease? Your crease is where you open your eye. That's your crease. Now your crease may look different than mine, so when you open your eye you may not see the exact same fold. You can just go halfway from your brow bone to your eyelashes. Now if you have small eyelids, you're like, Laura, I need more space. Just go above your crease. Just make the illusion. Go above your crease. Don't trip. Don't trip. Don't worry. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So I'm gonna do the same on the other eye. Just placing the shade in barely blending it out. The other has a little bit more purple, so I'm just going to go back, add some purple here so that it's even. We're about halfway through the eye. Now I'm going in with this Morphe M433, and yes, I'm using brushes that are dirty with the colors that I'm using, okay? Because I need to clean my brushes, but I'm like, if the brush is already green from my, then like, anyways, Reuse, reduce, recycle. I'm going in with shade Jungle here and a smidge of shade Kale. So I'm going in with this true green, but I just need a little bit of depth here. So I'm just tapping into that lightly. I'm going to tap this off of my mirror so that it's not too powdery. It's not gonna make that much fallout. And I'm adding the green here. Now, if you look at my eyes, you're like, what comes next in the color wheel? Yellow, right? But yellow is not going to be deep enough for the crease alone. So we're going to go in with brown because brown is a deeper yellow. I'm going to use this Morphe M514. I'm going to go into shade Mustard and Pauline. So I'm going into brown, not super dark brown like this. But I'm going into brown because I'm going to blend the yellow above here. And yellow is not going to have that big of a moment. It's really not. So I'm blending just a smidgen here. And then I'm taking another M456 and going in with this red shade Brick. I can add a little bit of wild, but we're gonna go with shade Brick. That's gonna give me the depth that I need. And this is what's gonna wing it out. This is going even better than last time. All right, now we need to chat about something. Luckily, I have some eyeshadow primer on the back of my hand. I always put it on the back of my hand because it's easier to distribute that way. We're going to take this Color Rain small angle flat top brush and I'm going to just add some primer out here. Yes, I'm going over that red. Don't worry, I'll go back and cover it up. But I'm adding some primer out here. Why am I doing that? Because when you do a wing cut crease, you need space. This is really pretty. I'm really excited about this. I think this is going to come out better than the last time. Boom. So basically you have the jewel tone, the dark tones of every single color already placed. Now we get to blend it. I'm going to take this BH Cosmetics Studio Pro 5 and I'm going into shade Rom-Com and a little bit of shade Grape Soda. Grape Soda is going to be a little bit too cool. Rom-Com is going to be a little bit too warm. We're meeting in the middle. And I'm just blending on top of or above that purple shade from before. I'm blending a little bit into the blue space, and that's really how you get a good blend, right? Blending into the space of the other colors, because when I go with the blue, I'll blend back over the purple, and it will all just come together. Ironically, I feel like blending multiple colors, like rainbow, I don't know, I just feel like it's a little bit easier. Maybe it's easier to explain. I'm just having an easier time blending and explaining the blending in this tutorial compared to the other ones. Maybe because you can kind of see exactly which color is what. Compared to like, if you're blending all browns, it gets a little like. I'm gonna take this Morphe M433, and you don't really need this many brushes, by the way. You really don't. But switching the brushes is helping me to show you where the colors are going. You can use the same brushes. It's easier if you have a couple of different brushes though, because the colors will get kind of murky if you're like blending the red with the same brush that you blend the green with. But don't think that, oh my gosh, I don't have enough brushes. Lauren's using a gazillion brushes. Lauren's using a gazillion brushes because my brushes are so dirty and just because I just have them in my collection. What you can always do is this. So say for example, I had this green earlier. You're gonna take a towel, and this is how you like quickly wipe off a brush, wash a brush. My pajama, I usually use my pajama pants too. They always look crazy because I'm always doing this on them to switch. So I went to Alabama recently and I did not have a lot of brushes with me. So the first time I did this eyeshadow look, I didn't have no brushes. So I had to kind of just switch, use a towel or a cloth to switch. So now I would go into like a blue or something like that. I would usually keep the blue, greens, yellows, no, the blue greens together, blue greens, maybe purple together, and then the red, orange, yellow, pink in the same brush, just so that it's easy. Do colors that are easy to switch from. Also do the light colors before the dark colors if you're going to use the same brush. So if I was going to blend both yellow and green with this brush, I'm going to blend yellow first and green, because it's easier to go from yellow to green than it is to go from green to yellow. So there's some things. I know I'm switching a lot of brushes. That's just because I have them here and it's for tutorial sake, but don't feel like you need a lot of brushes to accomplish this, because you really don't. You can pause the video and clean your brushes. We're gonna go in with, now this palette doesn't have a light blue, Okay, so we're gonna go into the Colourpop Fade into Hue palette, and I'm going to the shade Take It Easel, which has a little bit of a shimmer in it, but I think we'll be alright. And I'm blending right on top of the blue. Okay. Ooh, that's pigmented. That's pigmented. No worries. No worries. We're gonna go back and add that darker shade later. And you can see I'm kind of blending into the purple spot, and I'm also kind of blending into the green spot. Don't worry, because that's the fun part about blending colors together. You don't want it to look like layers where you added one, then one, then one. You want it to look like a blend where it's all kind of together. So we're blending out that blue. Time for green. Having fun. Y'all, I've been wanting to do like colorful tutorials for the longest. I just didn't know. I don't know like SEO wise what to name the videos. So this summer, we're doing all color. We're going into shade Playground here, which is this light green. I've already done a red tutorial this year. I've done a pink one. I've done a green one. And I've also done brown eyeshadow. You know what I mean? I'm not fully leaving the browns and the neutrals, but we're blending on top of that green, by the way. I was mostly doing a lot of browns and neutrals because last year I was trying to do my makeup foundations playlist, which I still add to. And that was basically just teaching like the basics, you know what I mean? So there wasn't a lot of color going on in the basics. Now that we've pretty much, talked about the basics, it's time for the color. I'm back. I'm going to go in with this Colored Rain small pointed blending brush. I've broken the yellow in this palette. I've broken the yellow in most palettes. Not even broken them. I've used them down to the point of there is nothing left, but not in this Fade into Hue palette yet. So I'm going to go back to that Colourpop Fade into Hue palette and get some of that yellow. And I'm going to blend here. Like I told y'all, the yellow is not going to have a big moment here. It's important for the blend, but it's not going to have like a big section like the green or anything like that. So just add your yellow, and then we're gonna move on. But don't even trip, because if it had a big moment, it would look kind of it would break up the eye. It's true. Now we're gonna blend out this red with orange. A little bit into Art Deco here, but Art Deco is a little bit glittery. So I'm gonna take the remnant. There's nothing in this pan that y'all can see. I'm blending off of Faith. There's some orange in there. There's some spaghetti in there. Don't even trip. And then I'm going to blend out that red. I'm blending over the eyebrow. It's okay, they ain't gonna arrest me. It ain't illegal. Let's be cliche, but like, we're coloring outside the lines here. I'm gonna add a little bit of that yellow to that orange, just so that it looks, there we go. So it blends with the color beside it, also so that it looks a little differentiated from that red. Boom. There's our preliminary blend. So now I'm going to go back through with all the dark shades and go back into that crease and define it. So I'm starting with the red. That brown, which is like really, really small. The brown, you don't even need to be able to see the brown. Okay. Going in with that green. That green is strong. Ah. Blue. And purple. And like I said before, okay, colors not only blended once. So now I'm just gonna go up and blend those lighter shades again until I am well pleased. Yes, 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 yes. Now we're gonna add that dark shade. Now, if you watched any of my tutorials before, if not, welcome. We're glad to have you here for this first one. But if you have watched my tutorials before and you watched me do a cut crease, you know that we have to add that definition in the crease, which is gonna add that dark contrast that against that lid, that light lid, it's gonna make it look sharp. So I'm gonna take my favorite brush for this, which is a Morphe M506, and I'm going to go into shade Cocoa and shade Storm, and we're going to blend this all across the lid. Okay, so black is going to work with every single color here to add some contrast. Wow, that was much easier than I thought. I mean, perfect. That's why they pay me the big bucks, okay? And that's why they're gonna pay you the big bucks too, because I'm teaching you how to do this. We're gonna do it on the other eye. Using our small circle motions, we're going all the way across the lid. Now we're gonna go back and blend, of course. You never just add an eyeshadow once. But if there were a time to, this would be the time, because that kind of looks straight, don't it? But we're gonna go back with our dark shades and just blend out that black line. So I'm starting with the purple, the dark blue, the green, the brown. We're gonna have to use a darker brown. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a darker brown here. There we go. And then we go back in with the black, because the brown's throwing off the black a little bit. Let's actually just go ahead and fix that now. Blend a little bit of that yellow. There we go. And now the red. You may need to mix the red with a little bit of brown, only because we're gonna need a little bit of depth for the red here. I don't think that red alone is gonna give us a ha 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 ha. There we go. Doing the same on the other eye. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. It's a little confusing down here. Don't worry, we're about to cut the crease anyway. I'm not gonna worry about things I'm gonna cover up. I'm gonna go back in with the ABH eye primer. I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand, like I said earlier, to distribute it nice and evenly and have some control. Now, I'm gonna go in with this Coastal Scents brush. You can use any small craft brush here. Rest in peace to Coastal Scents. I'm starting on the inner corner and I'm cutting right underneath the crease. Okay? I like to do a nice fast line. So a nice fast. Boom. That's what we're going for here. I'm gonna fill that in. And make it bigger as needed. If there's too much concealer at the top, or I went out of bounds somewhere, I make it larger. Now, this edge part right here is a little bit too dark to be wasting my time covering this with white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a makeup removing wipe. This one is already kind of dirty because I just used it to wipe off my entire eye. And I'm just going to wipe that little piece away. This is why I said do your face makeup after your eyes. Do as I say, not as I do. Because if you did your face, then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I have to redo that part. But if you didn't do your face yet, it's nothing. Now I'm going to take this square brush here, which is a Morphe M432. You can use that same small craft brush if you would like. I'm only using the square brush because it's going to cover up more space quicker. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm well pleased. Going in on the other eye. Taking that primer, back of my hand. Starting my outline. Wow. From there, I'm coloring in the lid. That green is powerful. Cause that's what, out of all these colors, that's what's picking up on this white and mixing with it. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on this side with the wipe. And just wipe that clean off. Save us some time and some eyeshadow primer. Cause I'm definitely running out of it, and I don't have time. Looking at a faraway mirror to see if the creases are even. They look even to me. Thank you, we're on a roll. So I'm gonna be taking the Colourpop eyeshadow in Tassel. It's a super shock shadow. It's white. I'm gonna be taking this BH Cosmetics Pro 7 brush. It's just a flat brush. You can take any flat brush for real. And I'm going to go on to the lid. Let's see how this works out. Yes. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, now I'm realizing I'm gonna have to lift this crease up. I mean, I'm gonna have to cut it a little bit higher because there is like a liner moment that's gonna happen, and I just don't have enough space as of right now. So I'm gonna cut it a little bit higher, out past the green. Yeah, so you see how much space that is compared to how much space this is. I can't get no good wing and in a little bit of space. I know some people can. That's not my ministry. I like to have a big amount of space, especially because it's going to be colored liner. So I really wanted to have its moment. Take that black brush with a very light hand and just kind of get those glitter specks that have kind of gotten to our crease right on out. Let's get into the bottom. We are moving and grooving. Let's get into the bottom of this eye. I'm going to take this Morphe M158, and this is an angled brow brush. I'm going to go into that primer, and I'm going to make a pseudo wing. So I'm going to kind of do it like as if I'm doing winged eyeliner, but first line first. That's your diagonal line, right? I'm not going to start at the tip of that line. I'm going to go down about 1 centimeter and then draw the triangle that will be filled in. Before they get super dry, I'm going to go in with my idea for this wing. First, I'm going to have to extend this all the way in. All right, once it's extended, let's get this party started. I'm starting with yellow, and I'm using a Beauty Babe BB209 brush, just a small detailer brush. I'm going yellow first. Now, Watch what I said about just using the same brush over and over again, but switching. See, I'm going to go from lightest to darkest. Watch how I do this. What? Now I'm going to go in with orange. Same brush. Next is red. Next is purple. Now for this purple, I'm going to use just that vibrant purple alone. I'm going to use that dark purple because now we're getting into the warmer shades here. Pink hasn't really gotten a moment in this eye. Now don't worry about everything below the liner because we're going to wipe that off with a wipe. I need more red here, then more orange. Now I'm just going to keep adding the same colors over and over again. I added too much orange. I'm going to add some red on top of the purple. There's a very small section where the crease is touching the liner. I'm taking that brow brush from before and I'm keeping them separate. I don't like all that. I don't want to touch. Now I'm going to take this wipe and I'm going to wipe off this bottom. With the wipe, I'm just going to go down on the parts that are a little bit white left over on the bottom. Add that purple. And add that pink. Look at that fallout. See, this is what I said, do your eye before your face. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing on this eye. I wanna make this one a little bit longer too, a little bit thicker too. Let's wipe off our brush because I last used the purple and the pink and now we need to go into the yellow. Once I'm in the yellow, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more to this side too, since I'm already in that shade. I'm going to just replicate those steps over here, going yellow to orange to purple to, no, from yellow to orange to red to purple to pink. And as you can see, I feel like I'm a little bit more reckless with the second eye. Like I'm just a little bit messier. It's kind of like when parents have their second baby. And they're like, oh, well, I'm not even tripping because I already know, you know, the first one survived and blah, 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 blah. That's how I feel about my second eye. I'm like, okay, I already know basically what I'm doing, how I'm going to do it, and I know it's going to turn out. So I can kind of glide through it quicker. Also because I'm explaining it less because I just explained it. So really you're just watching me demonstrate. Do y'all care if I leave the second eye in? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. What is y'all opinion on the second eye? Comment down below on leaving the second eye in. This time came out way better than the last time I did in Alabama, by the way. I didn't have nearly enough like brushes, products, anything. Now with the right materials. It's a hot mess express right now, but y'all already know I'm about to clean this up. So like I said, that's why the second eye, I don't even trip. We're gonna take that makeup wipe. We're gonna wipe. I'm putting my fingertip in it to get it nice and precise as I drag up, because just the meat of your finger is not gonna get it that precise. I'm gonna take that brow brush from before, just like I did on this side, adding some white. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up and add the white wherever the purple got into my cut crease. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Yes, yes, indeedy. I'm going to take the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, and I'm going to put this in my waterline. If you want to know more about the waterline, how I do the waterline, what goes in the waterline, what's safe for the waterline, what colors accentuate what in the waterline, check my waterline 101 video. I'm going to take this Craft Smart brush. It's a 10/0 brush. And I'm going to go along the eye. So I'm not going perpendicular to the eye. I'm going parallel. I'm just gonna open up the eye, and I really like white waterlines with like rainbow eyes. I'm going to take a little bit of concealer and put it in the inner corner just to open up from that purple. Using a Morphe 173. Using that Morphe 173, I'm just patting that out. And using the crease brush and a little bit of primer or that concealer, I'm just going to make that a nice straight line. Because the purple went down a little bit too far. It was all in my lower tear duct. That's too far. Now change the shape of the eye. That's not what I'm going for. So I'm going to go ahead and make this a straight line. If you do what I just did and you messed up and go a little bit outside the lines, take a little purple on that detailer brush and blend that out. Okay, so now I'm going to take this Morphe M431 Dome brush. I'm going to go into the shade Big Smile, which is that light yellow. And I'm going to go into the inner corner, connecting that liner and just opening up that inner corner. Yes, 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 yes. I love white in the inner corner. I think my second favorite is lime green, and yellow is up there at number 3. For under the eye, we're going to give pink the moment that she did not get today. I'm going to go into that shade Shuck, which is that hot pink, hot vest. And I'm going to go right into that lower lash line. I'm connecting to that purple that's over here. I'm taking a little bit of orange on that dome brush and connecting that yellow and that pink, because orange is what's in between yellow and red on the color wheel, and that's going to help blend that out. Now, that orange was a little bit powerful, so we had to go back in with a little bit of yellow to blend that out and to not make it look like I just kind of threw 3 eyeshadows up there. So we're adding the yellow to get that blend. Oh, this is so pretty. I'm taking this Morphe M456 and I'm going to go in a little bit into that light pink shade, a little bit into hot pink and a little bit into light pink to blend out underneath that pink. And lastly, I'm going to go back in with this Morphe X Neon brush and go into that purple and add that purple slightly to the outer part of the under eye. So really to connect that liner to that under eye. And that is that. I'm going to add some blush. I'm going to add some lashes and I'll be right back. Okay team, here is the final look. I am so pleased with this. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you learned anything along the way, please give it a like and subscribe down below for more videos like this. Do you want to see more rainbow colorful looks? I'm surprised it's taking me this long to get back to my roots, but y'all know I was doing education first. Now we get to have some fun with the education. Welcome to the colorful era. If you want to see more looks of mine, you can check out the shorts tab. You can also check out my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Twitter, all at Raggedy Road, the same way it's spelled down below. I do way more looks on those socials, so go check me out there. On TikTok, I have a bucket list series where I try different activities, foods, cuisines. I done a lot of crazy stuff. So go check that out. Triathlons, riding a horse, jumping out of a plane, eating every single fast food place on feels like planet Earth. So go check out my TikTok for that. And yes, I will see you in the next video. I'm trying to keep up my streak of posting 3 times a week. So I'll see you really, really soon. Comment down below if you have anything that you necessarily have questions about makeup wise or otherwise that you feel like would be good for a good, that you feel like would be a good topic for a video, because those always help me out. I'll see you in the next video. And yes, bye.